Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be exploring the most popular women's fragrances from Chanel. I'll be explaining the olfactory category, the notes, and a few points of difference for each to help you decide which is right for you, or even help you determine the right gift for someone else. Now, of course, fragrance is so personal. The same exact fragrance might smell completely different from one person to the next, but this video will help you navigate what's available and also teach you a few fun facts about your favorite fragrances. First things first, if you're new to Chanel fragrance or you're shopping for a gift, there are a few things you can do to help you pick the right fragrance. Number one, narrow down the olfactory category. Do you prefer fragrances that are green and fresh, or do you like something that's more light and floral? What about the person you're shopping for? Think about what they're currently wearing. Is it woody? Is it aromatic? The second thing you can do is narrow down notes that you like. If you do prefer floral fragrances, are you drawn to rose or perhaps gardenia? What about the person you're shopping for? Do they like vanilla or sensual amber? Those are things that you can look for, either the same or something similar in the Chanel fragrances. And my third tip really just applies to whenever you're at the fragrance counter. I never recommend you smell more than 3 fragrances. It's going to overwhelm your nose and leave you probably very confused. Try a sample if you can, and then also spray the fragrance on your skin. Check back in a few hours. Do you still like the fragrance as much as when you initially smelled it the first time? Fragrances have a specific construction. Some of them are constructed vertically and some of them are constructed horizontally. So if it's a horizontal fragrance, the top notes, the middle or the heart, and the trail are all going to be apparent throughout the entire length of the fragrance. However, if the fragrance is vertical, the first time you smell it, you're really going to smell those top notes. Later on, once that's evaporated, you're going to be left with the heart, or the main accord of the fragrance. And then after a few hours, once it's kind of been on your skin for a while, you're going to be left with the trail. So you want to make sure that you like the fragrance from beginning to end. All Chanel fragrances are incredibly special. For one thing, Chanel is one of the only luxury brands to have an in-house perfumer. The current perfumer's name is Olivier Polge, and he's created some iconic fragrances from Les Vieilles Belles for Lancôme, Flower Bomb, Burberry Brit, among others. And actually his father, Jacques Polge, was also an in-house perfumer for Chanel, so there's a great family story there. Also, Chanel sources exceptional flowers and raw materials from all over the world and controls production. The last point of difference that really sets Chanel apart has to do with the interpretation of each fragrance. So with a lot of brands, an eau de toilette or an eau de cologne is simply going to be a dilution of the original fragrance, whereas that's not the case with Chanel. So if you have an eau de parfum, like for instance Coco, or the Coco eau de toilette, they're going to emphasize different notes, so it makes it a completely different fragrance. I'll be presenting the fragrances in order from light and delicate to rich and warm. So starting with invigorating citrus fragrances, we have Cristal, Chance Eau Fresh, and Chance Eau Vive. Cristal is floral, fresh. The eau de parfum has top notes of peach, mandarin, and iris with smooth base notes of a plant accord. Mademoiselle Chanel loved the purity and transparency of Cristal. Her legendary apartment was filled with it, which inspired this fragrance. Chance Eau Fresh is a sparkling floral, a whirlwind of freshness, vitality, and energy, with intense citron notes complemented by teak wood. It's one of the most unisex women's fragrances, very popular with women who want a light scent. Chanel believed women created their own destiny, which inspired the entire Chance fragrance family. The square top resembles a dice. Life offered the chance and I took it, Gabrielle said. Chance Eau Vive is the zesty sister to Chance Eau Fresh. It's energizing, feminine, and vibrant with grapefruit, blood orange, and soft velvety cedar, created for the daring, adventurous, and unpredictable woman. Next up, we have the delicate green floral fragrances, number 19 and number 19 Poudre. Number 19 is Floral, Woody, and Green, a bold composition of white and green flowers. It was Gabrielle Chanel's signature fragrance, representing her birthday, August 19th. It's not for every woman, but this fragrance makes a statement, and the dry down is soft and elegant. Number 19, Poudre, was created in 2011 with a bouquet of iris, softened by white musk and heightened by vetiver. It's the aromatic interpretation of Coco Chanel's motto, "In order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different." Moving on to the light floral fragrances, we have Chanel Chance, Chance Au Tendre, Allure, and Gabrielle Chanel. Gabrielle launched just last year and is a luminous floral fragrance with a heart of jasmine, ylang ylang, orange blossom, and grasse tuberose, inspired by the rebellious heart of Gabrielle before she was Coco. Allure is floral, fresh, and oriental, intoxicating passion fruit with a peony accord and warm oriental facet. It was inspired by Chanel's love of simplicity and natural elegance. Chance Au Tendre, lovingly referred to by many as the pink one, is a floral fruity fragrance with a burst of tenderness. Notes of grapefruit, quince, warmed by white musk. Au Tendre was created for the happy woman. It's definitely a crowd pleaser and perfect gift idea if you're not sure what to buy. Chance is considered the most unexpected of all Chanel fragrances, a true floral with vanilla, jasmine, iris, and white musk. Chanel believed good fortune was something she created for herself. "Chance is my soul," she said. Now, Chanel Chance has a very special place in my heart, and I will tell you why. This was actually my very first Chanel purchase ever. I was 16 years old, and I remember flipping through fashion magazines and smelling the inside, staring at the advertisements for hours, and just falling in love with Chanel Chance. In my mind, it was the epitome of what a mature woman smelled like, and I wanted to smell like that. But I knew in my heart of hearts that my parents were never going to buy me a Chanel fragrance. But luckily I had a job. Me and my very best friend, we worked after school, we taught cheerleading lessons, and I saved for months until I could go to the mall and purchase my own bottle of Chanel Chance. While I was there, I actually also bought a pink sparkly lip gloss, which I think I only wore one time because it meant so much to me and I just didn't want to use it up. I'm a lot smarter now with my beauty decisions, but in terms of fragrance, I think I'm just as much a hopeless romantic as I was when I was 16. I had no idea the significance or the inspiration behind the fragrance, but I just knew it was special. I knew how it made me feel, and that's how I wanted to smell. That's what fragrance does. It takes you to a time and place. It reminds you of a person, or it makes you feel some type of way. Now, I will say when I shop for fragrance, I don't really want to smell like a more mature woman. However, I still want to feel sexy and strong and confident and feminine. And that's really what the perfect fragrance does. If you feel some type of way when you're wearing a Chanel fragrance, chances are, that's probably the right fragrance for you. That's it for light and delicate. These next fragrances are considered rich and warm. So starting in the intense floral category, we have the iconic Chanel No. 5 and No. 5 Low. No. 5 is legendary. Gras Jasmine, May Rose, the delicate freshness of neroli. This scent was created to smell like a woman. Named No. 5 because it was the 5th composition submitted and Mademoiselle's lucky number. No. 5 Low is a modern take on the classic, a crystal clear fragrance that feels like a light breeze. Crisp top notes of floral heart and cedar base. This reinvention still smells like a relative of the original, but appeals to a much larger and younger crowd, and still comes in the same iconic bottle. Moving into what's probably my favorite category, we have the semi-oriental fragrances. So we have Coco Mademoiselle, Coco Noir, and Allure Sensuelle. Coco Mademoiselle is semi-oriental and completely modern. Sparks of Sicilian orange with simple accents of patchouli and vetiver. It's a reflection of the irrepressible spirit of Gabrielle Chanel. Another beloved fragrance and perfect gift. This fragrance has mass appeal and never feels outdated. Allure Sensuelle is a second skin scent. floral, soft, oriental with an airy warmth and mysterious floral and fruity facet. Coco Noir is a luminous oriental fragrance, accentuated by warm Venezuelan tonka bean and Indonesian patchouli. Mademoiselle once said, "Before me, no one would have dared dress in black." Inspired by Mademoiselle's love of black, and also the mourning period following the death of her one true love, Arthur Boyd Capel, after which she predominantly wore black. Out of all of the Chanel fragrances, the one that is always going to be the most special to me is Coco Noir, because this was the first Christmas gift that my fiance ever bought for me. It was 5 years ago. We were living in New Orleans, and I was an anchor reporter at WGNO, the ABC affiliate, so I was still working in broadcasting. He had no idea that I was ever going to go on and work in cosmetics, work for Chanel. I had no idea. But it just means so much to me that he picked this out for me. He thought I would love it, and of course I do. I love this fragrance, but whenever I wear this fragrance, whenever I think about Coco Noir, I think back on that first Christmas that we spent together, our lives together at that time, living in New Orleans, our friends, our memories there. So it really does take me back and make me feel very nostalgic about that moment. And so it will always have a really special place in my heart. It doesn't matter what my current favorite fragrance is at the time, I will always have a bottle of Coco Noir. Last but certainly not least is the rich oriental fragrance category, in which we have Coco. Coco is an oriental floral, opulent and baroque, full top notes of Tunisian orange blossom and Sicilian mandarin with a woody trail, evocative of Coco Chanel's legendary apartment on Rue Cambon in Paris. Those are the most popular, widely available Chanel fragrances, but of course there are so many more. Chanel recently launched Les Eaux, 3 eau de toilettes that are currently available on Chanel.com, Chanel boutiques, and are exclusive to Nordstrom for 1 year. I did a complete review on my channel, so I will link that video down below in case you're interested. There is also Les Exclusives fragrances from Chanel, which are only available on Chanel.com and the Chanel boutiques. I highly recommend, if you have the opportunity, check them out. They are incredible, a beautiful line of fragrances. My personal favorites are Beige and Gardenia. I have the little Parfum of Gardenia. I plan to wear it on my wedding day. This is probably my absolute #1 favorite fragrance from Chanel. It's so light, floral, incredibly feminine. It's very beautiful. And that concludes today's video. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something new about these incredible fragrances. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. I will be linking everything in this video down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe.